Math 2, Unit 5, Worksheet 5, Mid-Unit Review, continued 13 through 24. All right, I'm actually going to change a lot of the answers. I did this with my third period, and I'm going to change a lot of the no's to sometimes. And I really don't like these questions when it comes to this, but if we really classify them correctly, there's a lot of sometimes in here, or some. So, I think we start off that way right away. We're going to write all, some, or no. Usually we say sometimes, always, or never, but so rectangles are squares. Some rectangles are squares. If you have a rectangle with 4 congruent sides, then it's a square. So we'll say some. Now, if a rectangle had 4 congruent sides, we wouldn't call it a rectangle, would we? We'd call it a square. But I guess you could say some rectangles have 4 congruent sides. Okay, number 14. Isosceles trapezoids are parallelograms. No on this one, because we say very specifically a trapezoid has one set of parallel sides. So that's clearly a no. All right, rhombuses are quadrilaterals. All. Yeah. A rhombus has 4 sides. A quadrilateral has 4 sides. All rhombuses are quadrilaterals. Questions so far? Okay. Number 16. Squares are triangles. I think that's a big no. Okay. I think that was a little comic relief. All right, number 17. Rectangles are regular quadrilaterals. I guess we'll go with some, because again, if a rectangle is a square, you know, some rectangles have 4 congruent sides, so some rectangles are regular quadrilaterals. Remember, a regular quadrilateral is a square. Okay, number 18. Quadrilaterals have 4 congruent sides. Some.
This is angle.
Oh, thank you. Quadrilaterals have 4 congruent angles. Some. Still some. If that quadrilateral is a square or a rectangle. Number 19. Rectangles are rhombuses. Some. Okay? If a rectangle has 4 congruent sides, then it's a rhombus. Just like some rectangles are squares, some rectangles are rhombuses. I'm not a big fan of that, because if it's a rectangle with 4 congruent sides, we'd call it a square. All right. Trapezoids have 1 pair of opposite sides parallel. All. Very good. All. That's the main definition of a trapezoid. Exactly one set of parallel sides. Okay, number 21. Trapezoids have 2 pairs of congruent sides. None. Because trapezoids are so specific, exactly one set of parallel sides. If a quadrilateral had 2 pair of congruent sides, then it would be a parallelogram, which means it would have 2 pair of parallel sides. So it's a no. Number 22. Squares are regular quadrilaterals. All. Regular means all congruent. All sides are congruent and all interior angles are congruent, and that is a square. Trapezoids have 4 congruent sides. No. It's the same question as above, actually, isn't it? Trapezoids have 2 pair of congruent sides. Trapezoids have 4 congruent sides. It's the same question, even just more specific. Okay, parallelograms have 4 congruent angles. Some. If that parallelogram is a rectangle or a square, then yes. How do we do on that?
Very good. 100%.
All right. To me, on these guys, it's more important that you come up with good reasons than it is that you're just getting the yes or no. It's, are you using the properties? Like fourth period, third period, a lot of these I put no because I was really, if a rectangle had four congruent sides, then we'd call it a square. So, but you guess you could say some rectangles are squares. This doesn't. Okay.